what you want. Okay, so I'm going to start on the chair this morning. Let's see. Christine, are you doing both? Are you doing chair and mat or just mat? Just, you can write it in the chat. I don't know, can you hear me? So I'll start on the chair. You guys can start seated and then we'll take it from there, okay? We're going to be doing a bit of cat-cow. So if you need something for underneath your knees, have that to hand. So let's start off wherever we're sitting. If we're sitting on our sitting bones, rooted down, that's fine. If you're on the chair, make sure that your feet are connected to the earth. That's our other point of gravity. It's our other connection. And if you're sitting upright, you might want your legs crossed. You might want them in a diamond shape or a V shape. So remember, whatever feels comfortable. And if we're on the chair, we don't want to be too, see, I'm not fully back because otherwise it's like the body is going, relaxation, yay. So let's start off for a few moments. Settle into your position. So whatever that means for you, might want to loosen out the neck, roll the shoulders, do a little Sufi swirling, whatever you need to take a moment then to settle. So sometimes we kind of sleep weird, don't we? I definitely did last night. And you might go, how do you wake up? Oh, I do actually know. Now I'm going, how do you wake up with a little bit of an achy back? You walked too much yesterday, that's how. Or, you know, it could be the way you slept. So come into whatever way you're sitting, put one hand on the belly, one hand on the lower back. Do a little pelvic tilting first, and then come to that neutral position. So where you can feel the hip bones are in front, the lower back feels sort of nice and relaxed. And then there is a slight engagement holding us upright because our core muscles need to work to support our spine. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. So as I root down into the sitting bones, I have that sense of my head lengthening up. So this gorgeous, there's a lot of dualities in yoga, don't we? Right, left, up and down, rounding down so I can lift up. So have that sense of just really plugging into those sitting bones. So I get to lengthen my spine and have this lovely straight spine and relaxed shoulders. Hands can come into Chin Mudra if you want. We're going to start off with a bit of breath work and a little bit of meditation. So taking a long, slow, deep breath in through the nostrils. And then you're going to breathe out with a big sigh. It's so nice. So we do that a few times. So imagining inhaling calm into the body and breathing out tension. Breathing in peace. Breathing out worry. Breathing in ease. And breathing out fear. You might want to take a few more breaths like that. Or you might want to just come to your yogic breath now. Letting the breath flow slowly in and out. Just noticing for a moment your rhythm of breath, connecting to that. And as much as possible, we try and keep the breath in and out through the nostrils. Some days if you're very sinusy, that's not always easy, but that's where we're aiming towards. This idea of effortless effort. And can we encourage the breath all the way down into the belly? So you might want to put your hands on your tummy to really feel like you're receiving the breath all the way down there. And then breathing out, contraction of the tummy muscles and just really noticing the breath. So we're going to start off this morning with a little mindful practice. So if you want to close your eyes, that is fine. Do whatever suits you, as always. Connecting to this slow, steady rhythm of breath. And really, really important to tune into your rhythm of breath. And you might notice that your breath is fast. Excuse me, especially if you've been rushing to get here. If you go, oh, we're at home. No, you could still do that. So watching your own rhythm of breath. So what is your breath like? Fast? Is it a bit choppy? Is it smooth? Or is it a little bit ragged? So remember, when we're checking in with ourselves in yoga, we're not judging. It's just, oh, okay, that's lovely and smooth and deep today, or oh God, I must have been rushing, like what's going on with me? Because we know that the way we're breathing affects our body. So we're encouraging our breath to slow down a bit, but we're not forcing it. So we're not breathing so much that we have to kind of go up our next breath. So just a gentle slowing down of that out breath. And until you feel that sense of familiarity with our breath, when we really focus on our breath, what happens is we go around through the day, how often do we stop and notice how we are breathing? So to tune into your breath itself is a practice of mindfulness. Connection to the present moment. And you might take a moment to notice the sounds outside the room you're in. So it could be neighbors outside, or even family members in a different room, or TVs upstairs, or just take a moment to attune your ears to the outside your room noises. And then take your attention to the room you're in. So for me, I can hear a little slight humming of the TV. Whatever it is in your room, it is a clock ticking. What noises do you hear in the room that you're in? And then take that even closer to your own body. Maybe you hear the rhythm of your breath. Maybe you haven't had breakfast and the tummy is gurgling. Can you really just focus to your own sounds of your body? Just being aware, the mind wanders, it's supposed to, 60 to 80,000 times a day. So when that happens, when your mind wanders off, just very kindly, very gently, let your attention drift back to your breath. So now we're switching back to our breath. And for some people, totally focusing on the breath can actually cause anxiety. So what you want to do then is actually feel the breath in the body. So you're going to connect instead to the movement of breath in the body. So do whatever works for you better. If you're doing that, I would put one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly, really to experience the breath as you breathe in and experience the breath as you breathe out. And we're just going to stay here just for 2 minutes, feeling, watching, observing our breath. Just relax. And take a moment to tune in with the body and see how it feels in your body to be in that. That's 2 minutes of silence, apart from, sorry, Fergie trying to, for some reason, jump into my laundry bag, my ironing bag. Just see how that sits in your body. So remember with meditation, if you're kind of a little bit resistant to it, there's no wrong meditation, because at worst, we're connecting to our breath and slowing down for a few moments. At best, we might get to really tap into the stillness and silence within. So just notice that, see how it feels. And we're going to start moving a little bit. So let's do a little bit of Sufi swirling. You stay seated just for a few moments, and then some of you can come onto hands and knees, and some of us will stay on the chair. Lovely. Just loosening out, having that sense of how nice it feels to move the body. Again, Sufi swirling can be teeny tiny movements, circling around, or you might be like, oh, I need a big old movement there. Come back to center. Again, trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears all the time, because we know that was tension. And then circle the opposite way. If you are prone to dizziness, take a few breaths in between before you go the opposite way. Never just fling around. And notice, where is your breath? Can I keep that connection to that gorgeous, slow, steady, rhythmical breath? That is why we feel great after yoga. It's that connection to the breath. That's our mindfulness in motion. Okay, sitting up nice and straight, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to drop our chin to our chest and very gently look over, or just bring the chin over to the right. Drop the chin back to center again. Let it come over to the left. Just do that a few times, just nice and gentle. Remember, never pushing into any body part. I am just working within my own body's range of movement. Just this nice loosening out. And this time when I take my head to the right, I'm going to look up with my eyes, looking over to the right, and it starts to make the pose. How wacky is that? Because it makes it feel like a deeper stretch. And then come back to center again. Take it over to the left. Cast the eyes over to the left. Back to center again. Take it to the right. Look over to the right corner. Back to center again. To the left, looking over to the left. And back to center again. Lovely. So coming back up now, I'm going to drop my right ear towards my right shoulder. And what tends to happen here is sometimes we're like, oh, it's all about getting shoulder to the ear. It's really not. When we're doing it this side, we want to get that openness on the opposite side. So just check out where you are here and just allow the head to fall over. Right ear towards right shoulder. And then getting that gorgeous opening on the left side of the body, left side of the neck. And then we're going to extend that a little bit by reaching our left arm out to the side. And this is really nice. I always find to play with it. Sometimes down here makes it feel a little bit nicer, sometimes up here. So you kind of reach around to where it feels okay for you. And you feel that you've just intensified that stretch. It's traveling a little bit more from the neck, maybe through the shoulders. And then we're going to take that right arm and gently place it around the head. Now there's no pulling, it's like I'm minding my head. Reach into that finger a little bit more and just notice how that feels. Breathe into it. God, these nearly should be mandatory in the morning, shouldn't they? And then just relax and gently come back to center. And take a moment, even you can really feel the difference so quickly between the two sides. So let's come back to center again. And this time I'm bringing my left ear towards the left shoulder, holding it here for a moment, just tuning into that gorgeous stretch at the side of the neck. And these, for anybody who's sitting at their desk all day long, are brilliant, because it's neck and shoulders, isn't it, where we get very tense a lot. Now reach into that right arm, and again, play with it. Like technically it's like 45 degrees, but you might find, I find sometimes playing with it, and we want to find kind of that sweet spot where it's like, okay, I'm getting a bit of a stretch into my shoulders, but also have that lovely stretch on the right side of my neck. Take your left hand, bring it around the head. Lovely. And then just gently reaching into those right fingertips. Breathing in and out. And gently relaxing. Oh, I feel light. Okay, coming on to hands and knees now for some of you, preparation for cat. We're going to stay seated, and just because I'll talk everyone through at the same time, we're going to slide your hands up, place your hands in the thighs when we come into our happy cat as we squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then as I round, it's like I'm pressing my thighs around, pulling my belly in, rounding the spine. So anyone who has osteopenia, osteoarthritis knows that this movement, this big rounding of the spine, it's not a great idea if you've got disc problems, back problems, and that is actually the problem as we age, that we don't realize a lot of the time that, oh, you know, I have this or that going on. So listen to the signals you're back. You know what, especially, I always think with cat pose, when we've been doing yoga for years, we're like, oh, it just feels lovely. It feels really nice. But slow it down, feel it, tune into every part of your back. And if there's anywhere where there's little twinges, it means you need to not go up so high, okay? So starting on hands and knees, shoulders nice and relaxed, wrists are underneath the shoulder joints, spread into the hands, but not so much that I'm taking tension. So I want a lovely stretch, but I don't want to feel like, God, I'm going to split my hands apart. Now, as I breathe in, I'm lifting into happy cat. I'm lifting my chest, squeezing my shoulder blades together. Lovely. And you're looking wherever. So you're looking straight ahead. Some people might be able to look up. And then rounding the spine. Lovely. Now press the feet into the mat if you're on the chair as you round. And then breathing in again. Lifting the heart center as I arch my back. And rounding. Lovely. Just do that a few times. So really feel into your cat. Think of what we're doing. We're contracting our core muscles first as we really open up the back. And then we're engaging our back muscles as we really get into the front body. So quite a lot. And then your weight bearing as well. And if you want to have that sense of weight bearing, really press the hands into the thighs. Use that pressure, hands against the thighs to get you there. Lovely. Now come back to center. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to take a little cat balance. So let's reach that left leg back. Come back a little bit. Lift the left leg back and then bring it back down. Now, important on the chair that you want to keep that spine nice and straight, not hang back, what I just did, because it's easier. So lift the left leg up and relax it back down again. And this time when I lift that left leg up, can I let my right arm float up in line with the ear? And engage the core, engage the side body. And breathe as I lengthen into that right finger and that left heel, connecting with your yogic breath. And then relax it back down again. Take a little circle out. So just a rounding in hands and knees. Loosen out any tension there. And then let's go the other way. Just a nice little loosen, loosen, loosen. Lovely. And back to center once more. Now, again, check your alignment. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, unless you've wrist injuries. Take it a little bit further forward. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, relax it down. You might need to come a little bit further forward on the chair for this, I feel, to make it a little bit easier. When you're quite far back, it feels harder. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, relax. And last time, inhale, lift that right leg up. Can I let my left arm float up in line with the ear? Notice what has to happen with the core muscles here, because this is a balance. Engage the core. Feel the back muscles work. Hook in those side muscles and breathe. And then relax. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to come up to standing. You can do this on the chair this way if you need to, or you can use the wall. Okay, so do what feels better. I'll just place this over here for a moment. So using the wall for a bit of balance. Remember, our feet are absolutely tied up with our balance. So if you've got issues with your feet and your ankles, walking is not easy. So we want to make sure we always get into these. So if you're doing it on the seat, it's easier to kind of do it with the foot out to the side a bit. If you're doing it standing, it's actually as easy to do it in front, okay? So you can hold on to the wall if you want, or you can put the hands on the hips. Lift that right knee up. It can go here, it can go here. It doesn't matter where it goes. Just once it's off the floor. And let's start circling out that right ankle. Lubricating it nice and slowly, getting all the fluid moving around the joints. Go the other way. Circle out, circle out. You might notice a bit of action into the right leg as well. Now point and flex. And see, can you make that kind of quite a strong movement? and then relax back down and take a moment. And then you're going to take all of the weight onto the right foot and really spread into the right foot. And notice that really lovely energy going from the right hip all the way down to the heel. The leg is nice and strong, and you can bring the left knee up. And again, start slowly circling out. So just have the sense that I'm so looking after my ankles and my feet this morning. Keep that breath flowing. Take it the other way. And remember, you can do these all through the day. If you're starting to feel a bit stiff in the body, I would be doing these when I'm sitting down, watching TV, when I'm at my desk. Point and flex. And make that work. We can kind of do that very easy for ourselves. Well, I know I do that sometimes. But when you really go to, you know, my end range of movement, I'm like, how am I feeling that in my hip now? Because my knee is up in front as well. And relax back down. Lovely. So just take a moment here. We're going to come to a little warrior one. If you're doing warrior one on the chair, this is the position. Okay, so that back knee is bent and the front knee is forward. You might want to hold on to the back of the chair, or you might not, because we're going to come into a little prayer twist thing as well. So again, do what feels. That's where I want to feel a lot going on. I'll still feel it in the quad, but I want to get into that back hip flexor. So let's step forward. And again, what is so important is that we make our yoga poses suit our bodies, not the other way around. We don't turn our bodies inside out because we want to practice yoga. We work our yoga to suit us. So when I step forward with my right leg, I want to have a nice distance between, and I'm going to just bend and straighten. And I want to feel, because we're staying here for a few moments, I want to feel that I'm nice and secure here. I feel grounded. I don't feel like I'm going to topple off. And if you want to, you can use the wall, okay? So that's perfectly okay. Now, notice what's happening in that back leg. Rooting that back heel into the mat. Turn the body to face forward, relax the arms. Now I'm going to open up as I breathe in, feel like my arms are as light as anything, let the arms float up. And you might notice the shoulders come up, so relax the shoulders. Now press into the feet. If you want to here, you can take a little back bend. To do that, I engage my core, hugging my waist muscles, and I lift my heart center. I'm still rooting into that left heel. So it should feel a nice opening in that left hip flexor. Keep breathing in and breathing out. Lovely. And then take it back to center. Place the hands into prayer. Now use that as your weight bearing again. Keep the elbows out to the side. Press the hands in towards each other. And we're going to take a little twist to the right and back to center. And again, if you've anything going on bone-wise, don't overdo your twist. Take it nice and handy. Twist to the left and back to center. So if you really tune into your body, there is a place where your body goes, that's it for me. And my body's going, that's enough now. Don't go any further, thank you. And back to center. And that's what we want to get to in our practice, that I'm actually listening to that signal. And if we listen to it all the time, it may be the most balanced beings. And back to center. Lovely. And relax the arms. So come back to center. Give a little, just almost like a little walk. Shake out the hands a little bit. Because if you were really pressing the hands against each other, you'll feel that engagement of the biceps and triceps. I actually feel it right into the wrists. It feels like a lot. So let us take that to the other side. Remembering, I might not be as deep into it, or it might be much easier this side. So bending that left knee, rooting into that right heel. My hip bones are facing forward. Do a little like exactly as we started the class. Just check that my pelvis isn't totally out of alignment. So I'm not, that's me, that's the way my body loves to go. And if I do that too much, I'm not engaged my core, I'll feel it in my lower back after my practice. I don't want to feel anything negatively. So I take it back. So I draw in that lower belly and just think of dropping the tailbone slightly. That left knee is bent, and let's just come into bending and straightening first. And you can see I have quite a big gap in between my feet. And then hold it, relax the shoulders, lovely. Now, root into that right heel so that you feel energy from that right glute to the right heel. And then let those arms float up like they're little helium balloons, drawing them up. Keep the shoulders nice and soft. And you might wish to stay here, or maybe you want to take it back a bit. If I'm going back, I'm going to use all those core muscles, including that right glute, and just gently lift the heart center. Again, here, your body will go, right now, that's enough. Hold it there for a few moments. Relax the shoulders. Notice how your breath is. And then let's come back up. Place the hands into prayer in front of the heart center. Drop the shoulders. Press those hands in towards each other. Can you feel those biceps and triceps engage? Or maybe you're tight in your shoulders and arms today, and you want to keep it soft. If you're working it, the elbows will be in line with the wrists as well. Inhale, gentle twist to the left. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, twist to the right. Exhale, back to center. To the left, to center, to the right, to center, and last time. So feel that nice kind of waking up of everything really. Relax the arms, do a little step out with the feet. If I go up again. Right, let's do a little, because I don't know if anybody else is feeling that in the wrist, but I certainly am. So I'm going to take my thumbs in, bring my hands over, and just nice and slow, lubricating the wrist joints as well. So remember, we want to look after all of the bones in our body. Go the other way. Lovely. And then just shake it all. So shaking is actually, if you feel like you're really stuck, something's going on and somebody might be annoying you and it's like, I actually can't get this out of my head, take it into the body, take what you're thinking about and literally shake it all out. I know it's wacky, but I'm like standing in mountain pose. So take a moment here into Tadasana, feet hip distance apart, relax the arms, feel that the head is lengthening towards the heavens, the feet are grounding into Mother Earth, shoulders are relaxed, the arms are relaxed. Take a moment to come back. You might even want to place your hands on the belly and come back to this gorgeous breath. In and out. So if we're going to do our little warrior 2 sequence. There's a few options here just to show you. So you can do it on the chair. I always find with this back leg, you have to kind of play with it. Sometimes even keeping it like that might feel safer. Some people like to do it like that. I find, I'll be honest with you, I don't like the twerk kind of, I don't like what happens to my knee joint here. It doesn't feel very safe. So find your safe spot. If you bring the leg in a little bit, it's a bit easier. Remember, we're going to do our warrior 2 sequence. You also have the option to do it with your back against the wall. If you're not feeling, if you're kind of feeling, I don't want to go the whole way, you can do it with the back against the wall. Or I can do it standing, holding onto the chair. If I was holding onto the chair, I would bring the chair right in front of me. Okay, so there is your options for the warrior sequence, you do not have to be really wide enough, okay? So come to standing, or you're doing it on the chair. Turn that right foot out. And if you're standing, you're going to lift up on the ball of the foot, turn it in slightly, press that left heel. Now, when I look down, that front heel is in line with the back foot. If I'm doing it seated, find a position that your joints especially feel safe. And then we're going to bend and straighten. Now, when I bend, it's like I'm pressing off that left heel. So also check in when I come into it. I don't want twinges in my lower back. I don't want my knee joints talking to me. So just go into it to where it feels really safe for your body. And then we're going to hold it. So you can notice there that my knee is over my ankles. So that means I can just see my big toe there. But I'm equally rooting in to that left heel. And the mistake here is people want to come over with their leading leg. We want the body in front. Put your hands on the rib cage. Encourage your ribs to face forward. And then reach into the fingertips. But soften the shoulders, soften the pelvis. Now, can you look over that right hand, index finger, and keep that connection with the breath. So remember, in our practice, our breath is our guide. So if I can breathe slowly and smoothly, that's me tuning into my body-mind connection. If you can't, it's probably more just a workout. And really, we can do that in anything. We don't need our yoga practice. So just take it in a bit slower. Dancing warrior. My back hand goes on the back leg. And I look into the palm of my right hand. Keep breathing in. Keep rooting down into that back leg. You feel that left glute engage. Slightly engage the core here. Waist muscles, they're working anyhow. Back up to warrior two pose. Now I lean over, bring that elbow on, bring that upper arm on top first. Coax that left shoulder back. Ground into the feet, the legs are strong. And then just let that arm float up to wherever, 6 o'clock, maybe all the way over my ears. If you shoulder stuff going on, keep the hand on the hip, engage the core, heart center, faces forward. There's actually a lot going on in this, so don't feel like I've got to add frills. Start to circle that arm around. So I straighten that right leg, lovely. So that top arm again, that is lovely and loose and fluid. And if you feel like I did it for years when I started yoga, I used to feel like I was hanging out of something imaginary on the ceiling. I put so much tension into that shoulder. It's absolutely unnecessary. And then to come out back again into warrior two. Beautiful. Straighten the legs. Let's come back for a moment. The feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And let's do a nice little circle out. Because sometimes you do your warrior poses and you feel it on the hips. And why wouldn't you? Because one hip is turning one way, externally rotating. The other one's internally rotating. Then we put weight on it. Then we put movement onto it. So it's quite strong but amazing. Back to center. Lovely. Let's take our legs out to the other side. Again, try not to be attached to the sense that, oh, well, I love it this wide. That just every time I come to practice, I'm tuning into my body as it is in this practice, not how I was 2 weeks ago or before I hurt myself or, before I had problems with whatever. Just be with what's here this morning even. Turn the left foot out. Lift up that back heel, pivot that in slightly. My left heel in line with the middle of my back foot, and then coax that rib cage around. And then start to bend and straighten. And just feel into that. And you might feel into that and it might go, I could go deeper, I definitely couldn't here, or I might need to narrow my stance. I actually think I'm going to do, just step it in a little bit and that feels a lot better. So that was just because there was just a teeny tiny tweak in my lower back that, yeah, I could have pushed through, but why bother? Who am I doing that for? And that's what you want to ask. When I'm in yoga and I'm like pushing myself into a body position, why? You know, why? When we can always modify. Now, rib cage faces forward. Reach into those fingers. Look over that index finger as you drop the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe I can drop the pelvis down a little bit more. Where is your breath here? Back hand on the back leg. As I look into the palm now of the left hand. And again, if I have shoulder problems, I might be here, I might be here. Go to where feels wonderful for you. Lovely. Keep rooting down into that right heel. Feel the connection from the right glute to the heel. As I use the power of my legs to bring me up, lean over, left elbow onto the left thigh. Bring that right hand behind, open up the shoulder girdle literally. And then let that arm float up to wherever feels fab for you this morning. Lovely. And try not to do kind of zombie head. Let that right ear be in line with the right arm. And then circle that arm around. As I straighten that left leg, hugging those belly muscles, come into whatever version of triangle feels lovely for you. Lovely. Just love the legs in triangle. It's so strong. Press into the feet. The power of the legs bringing me up and relax. Turn the feet in, walk them in. Give a little shake of the legs. Okay, so we're going to do chair pose. So if you're doing chair pose on a chair, and actually anyone who's doing work from home, right? You should do this a few times too. I actually, in a lot of my privates now, this is one, especially limited mobility, just the hands on the thighs, come up to here, back down again, come up to here. You're not using your knees, you're pressing the feet into the mat, you're using all the muscles in the legs, but you can hug in the core muscles. You know what, if you've nothing going on, you can do it like chair and do that a few times. And you know what, that is just brilliant for us. That's our up and down. And because I've been able to spend so much time with my mom this summer, so she's been doing a lot of that and even getting in and out of my car. And I'm like, press into your feet, use the legs. And I'm going, she's really loosening out. That's what we want. That's what we want to encourage. Just give me one sec here. Did I? Okay, so with that, we are going to take chair pose. So feet hip distance apart. For me, I prefer a little bit wider. Like hip distance apart is your hip joints here. It's kind of quite narrow. I like just it feels in my body that I've got a bit more space. And I feel a bit safer with my feet a bit wider apart. So kind of find from you, hip distance is your inner hips. So that's quite narrow. A little bit wider, I think, feels yummy. Let's start off with our hands on the hips. I'm going to do it this way. So because it's so easy, I find it's the easiest one to kind of come into and woo, look. But that ain't good. Okay, so because we want a straight spine. So start off with the hands on the hips, press into the feet, feel the big toe, the little toe, the heel. So again, grounding down, using all the muscles from my glutes down my legs, and then bend the knees. Now the trick is here, I don't want to feel my knees. So if I've any little twinges in my knees, maybe I could take the weight a bit more into my heels, and then maybe go a little bit lower. Now when I come into it, okay, I'm going to draw in those lower belly muscles, which really need to be drawn in. But the minute I do that, so when I don't, that's my chair pose. When I hook in those lower belly muscles, see what happens with my back. Lovely. So you can see the difference. That's me not engaging my core muscles, That is me engaging my core muscles. Lovely. Bring the arms up, keep the shoulders relaxed. So keep drawing in those core muscles, engaging the side body muscles, rooting into the feet, arms up or down, depending on how your shoulders and arms are this morning. Breathe. Lovely. And then to come out, I press into the feet, lift up. I might even want to take a little back arch. I love back arch at your chair. It just feels nice. Okay, so we're going to do that a few times, and then we're going to take that little twist that we did in our warrior into it. Okay, so again, find that lovely position for your feet. You can start off with the hands on the hips. Knees are going forward over the toes. So remember, all our forward bending happens from this crease at the top of the thighs. Send your bum back. Engage those core muscles. Remember what was happening with my back. And then lengthen the head one way. Maybe you want to bring your arms into it. Draw on those core muscles again. Hug in your waist muscles. Feel the glutes fired up. Breathe. You can take the weight into your heels a little bit. And remember, you don't have to go down. We're not trying to prove anything here. I just want to feel strong in my whole body. And chair pose is brilliant for that. Press into the feet. Reach up. And come back down again. So if you're going to do chair pose on the chair, I would come up and down really slowly a few times. And I really get that same sense of strength. So this time when we come up into it, we're going to take a teeny twist, okay? So what I would say is that if you've got a lot of problems with your back, forward bending and twisting is not a great idea. So I would just stay in chair pose, okay? I'd put my hands into prayer, but I wouldn't do the twisting. So hands on the hips again, bend the knees, send the bum back, suck it all in. Settle down a little bit, relax the shoulders. This time, taking my hands into prayer. Again, an active prayer. Bend those knees, weight in the heels, core engaged. So if you choose to, you're going to gently twist to the right and back to center. Gently twist to the left and back to center. Check in that you haven't lost your core muscles, engage that lower belly. One more time. Twist to the right and back to center. And twist to the left and back to center. Now relax the arms, relax the legs. Give it a little shake out. Lovely. Okay. Now we're going to do a little just gentle standing twist from side to side, just loosening out. I'm just coming up onto the balls of my feet because I can go a little bit deeper then and it kind of feels nice. Okay, back to center now. We're going to do a tree pose. So again, if you want to use the wall, tree pose on the chair, it's just actually, you could just bring the ankle up onto the opposite thigh or lower down. So let's take the weight. Again, feeling into the feet. Feet are so important with our balance. So take all of the weight into the left foot, then really slowly transfer that weight into the right foot. We're going to do that again. And how is it to feel that weight root down? Take it over to the left foot again. Root right down, right down, right down. Lovely. Back up again, all the way into the right foot. Now, as I root down, work those muscles on the standing leg, but notice what's happening in the bones. Use your wall if you want. Pivot that left foot out to the side. Connect with a drishti. So anything that isn't going to move, bring your foot up wherever, below, above, once it's not on the knee joint. Start here in our prayer pose again. Press the hands in towards each other. And maybe some people like their prayer over the head. That feels very restrictive to me. So I'm going to open my tree out because that feels lovely. And this is lovely because I've got like one fingernail against the wall and I feel much more balanced. Lovely. Keep breathing in. So use your support if you need to. Keep connecting with this yogic breath. And then relax back down. Now take a moment there to feel. Feel how that is in the standing leg. Lovely. Take the weight now into the left foot. Pivot the right foot out to the side. Remember, this is a hip opener. We've just already done something very similar to this in our warrior. Wherever you're putting your foot, remember, not against the knee, even though what we want to do is we're going to try and get a little bit more gentle in our tree poses. Press the hands in, but I still wouldn't want that foot against the knee joint. Focus on your drishti as you press those hands in towards each other. Go wherever your hands are happy to go. This suits my body because I'm all about how can I breathe easier, and this is the way I can breathe easier. Relax the shoulders. Root down, almost growing roots out of that left foot. Notice that that core is engaging, even though you haven't told it to, the body's innate wisdom. And then relax. Back onto 2 feet. Take a moment there. Tune into the breath. Lovely. Okay. We will do a little goddess tree of life. Okay, so you can do this either seated or standing. Bend the knees, don't go too deep down into it. Even though your hips should be nice and loose after this morning, start off in prayer, again, active or gentle. And when you come up, you can either lift the heels off. I love the way that happens. When I do it, they won't lift that high up. Or you keep the feet solidly on the ground, whatever suits your body best this morning. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. As I breathe in, I start to lift the heels, open up, take all that positive energy in our Zoom room around us, and then take it down through. Let's use it. Lovely. Do it again, opening up, gathering the positive energy in our space, and then taking it right down through the heart center. Lovely. One last time like this. Fabulous. Hands over the heart center. Now, from here, we're going the other way. So we draw our positivity from our heart center through our body, and then we send that back out into our Zoom room, into any spaces we're in, thinking of spreading a little bit more of a positive ripple to those around us. And back to center. And then straighten the legs. And relax. And we're coming back down to lying on the mat. So if you want to, you can stay on a chair. If you're going to stay on a chair for relaxation, try and have a cushion or some sort of support, because you want to let the body know that you've kind of stopped working a little bit. We'll finish off with a little bit of Apanasana. So if you're not lying on the back, sorry, lost my camera. If you're not lying on the back, if you're doing this on the chair, do one leg at a time, okay? Sorry, you're not feeling seasick, guys. The director's asleep this morning. Terrible. Hug the knees in over the tummy. Remember, if you're on the chair, you're hugging one knee in and then the other knee in. And then do a little slow circle out, nice and gentle. Lubricating the lower back, loosening it out. Go the other way. And then with the hands on the knees, inhale, straighten. Exhale, hug the knees in. And then maybe you want to take the knees apart, circle them out that way. And it's lovely these, because not only are we getting Our lower back, go the other way. We're getting right into our hip joints as well. And then stand the feet on the mat and just let the knees fall. Don't come into the twist. We've done plenty of twisting. Just let the knees fall from side to side. Just letting the hips and the lower back and the legs relax a little bit. And then come back to center and find your best position for Shavasana. So notice for you, what is better for you? Do I need to stand my feet on the mat? Do I need to pop my legs up the wall? Do I need to lie on my side? So Shavasana is a pose that really, really is personal. The same as our yoga is, that how I relax. And it's not just, I'm just taking a few moments here to chill. When we're relaxing in Shavasana, are really letting our practice settle into our bodies. And it's where we actually assimilate our whole practice, the benefits of what we've been doing with our body. We just let it settle in, we let it connect with our mind. So get your most comfortable Shavasana. That is so, so important. So do I want to put something over my eyes? Would you like a blanket over you? What do you need to make your relaxation the most comfortable? Do you need to lie down? Do you need to sit on a chair? What do you need to do? And you might want to close your eyes. If you're sitting on a chair, I suggest that you pop a blanket or a cushion or something behind you so that it feels a bit more relaxing than when we're working from the chair. Take a big breath in through the nostrils and breathe out. Once more. Let's do that again. Long, slow, deep breath in. Relaxing, releasing, breath out. And then you're going to close your mouth. Connect to your breath. And feel the rhythm of breath in the body. Tuning into that, your own rhythm of breath again. The way we started the practice, coming back to finishing our practice like that. And can I invite a sense of heaviness into my body? Inviting my body to feel heavy and relaxed. You might notice whatever areas in your body tend to be tight or achy or even painful. Can I invite these to soften even just a little bit? So inviting softness into maybe your whole body, maybe certain parts of your body. And then can I sense or imagine a feeling of deep relaxation? Fill the body from the crown of my head, traveling over the head, resting on the floor or the chair, over the sides of the head, filling the back body, relaxing the upper back of the shoulders, the space between the shoulder blades, the mid back, the lower back, the back of my hips, releasing any tension in the glutes, relaxing the hamstrings, the back of the knees, the calves, the heels, the soles of the feet. Feeling the back body settle onto gravity. Feel it relax, get heavy. And then noticing shoulders resting on the mat. Feel any tension from the shoulders melt away down the arms, through the biceps and triceps that have worked quite heavy this morning again, through the elbows, forearms, wrists, hands and fingers. Tension melting from shoulders to fingertips. Sense of letting go of whatever I'm carrying on my shoulders. And then that sense of ease and softness and deep relaxation starts to travel up through my toes, the front of the feet, through my ankles, all the way through my shins, the front of my knees, my quads, the front of my hips, feeling the whole pelvis heavy and relaxed, relaxing my lower belly, my tummy, relaxing the solar plexus, the diaphragm, the chest, the lungs, the heart center, the front of my throat, the sides and back of my neck, the jaw that can hold a lot of tension. Just notice here, can you let your jaw be heavy and relaxed? Even a little movement from side to side. And just allow that jaw to be heavy and relaxed. Soften the cheeks, the cheekbones. Soften the temples, the forehead, even the hairline. Relax that space between the eyebrows. Feel the eyes heavy and relaxed. Watch your breath as it flows in and out through the nostrils. Soften the mouth, the teeth, the gums, even the tongue. And feel this sense of connection to your body. Sense of relaxation in your body, of ease, of tuning into this body-mind connection. And once again, coming back to that sense of just allowing my breath to flow, my body to just be here right now. So just rest in silence for a few moments. I'll bring you out with the sound of the bell. So once again, I connect with this body that's been resting. And just take a moment lying here to feel. Feel how your body is after your practice. Notice how your headspace is after your practice. How is your breath after your practice? And know that we take the benefits, and we really do. Long after our yoga practice, all the benefits of it come with us into our daily lives. So hopefully the ripple that we're spreading outwards is a little bit more positive than it might have been with no yoga or meditation in our lives. So nice and slowly, taking your time coming up to sitting, wishing anyone on the recording Om Shanti, peace.